Here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is actually not a No Man's Sky video. Mental, I know, but today I'm actually doing something a bit different. I put a poll out on Twitter a few days ago now, talking about the possibility of doing not a setup tour, because there isn't so much to talk about, but rather just kind of showing you where I record, the equipment I use, and how this all helps me with YouTube. Now, because of this, I'm having to record this on my fucking phone, and it's going to be a load harder to make in terms of editing because the audio peaks don't show up in Vegas for whatever reason. So the quality of editing may be a bit worse than usual, but that's not saying a lot because, to be honest, it's pretty shit. But yeah, nonetheless, I apologise for the audio being a bit off, apologise for the quality being a bit off, but as of right now, this is about the only thing which I can do. So, without further ado, let's have a little look at the setup. So, first of all, I mean, we just got a door here. There's absolutely fuck all to talk about. Literally just a dressing gown, raincoat, some other shit. If you ever look over here, right in the corner, this is my bed, quite clearly. Now, most people that have money or live kind of in a big fat house with loads of content creators often have a room dedicated to recording, but naturally, because I'm not rich, I have my setup in my bedroom, like a little fucking basement dweller. So I do have my bed in here as well. So I essentially sleep here, play games here, and edit, record, all of that good shit in here. Above my bed, I have 3 posters, and you can probably get a little tiny glimpse of me. Hey, there you go. These are 3 of my favourite films. So we got Silence of the Lambs right there, the Hannibal Lecter film, if you don't know. We got Taxi Driver, which is an old Robert De Niro film, and we got Shawshank, which everyone knows about. Now, these aren't to say that these are my favourite films, because, you know, stuff like Hacksaw Ridge, Trainspotting, Saving Private Ryan aren't on here. Trainspotting is actually in the wardrobe, but these are just 3 at the time when I got these that were my favourites, and still to this day they are definitely one of the best films I've ever seen, that's for sure. But the prints themselves, I don't know if you can make it out, but the frame and the print weren't bought together. They weren't already framed like this. The actual print itself, I probably bought off eBay. I'd say there's about a £5 each. And the frame, I think, was eBay as well, and they're probably about a £10 each. So, all in all, I don't know, probably bordering like 40, 30 quid for all 3. My maths is shit, and I don't actually know if they were the prices, but they just spiced it up a little bit, especially since a good portion of this room is music and kind of game based, so I thought having a bit of film kind of complements the media, which is kind of cool. Above my bed, I got a Coldplay poster that looks like absolute piss. It makes the walls look really fucking bad because there used to be blue tack all over it. I need to paint these, and the fucking bed frame, like that looks like a jizz stain over there. But no, this I got this with the Coldplay Kaleidoscope vinyl. I pre-ordered it because, in case you couldn't tell already, I quite like Coldplay, and I pre-ordered this, the physical vinyl copy of Kaleidoscope, which is their newest EP, and yeah, this came with it. Just literally a paper print. Not bad if I put it up, because to be honest with you, it surprised me. It was actually quite good. Better than I thought it'd be. So over here, we have 2 shelves, which are fairly new, if the focus would fucking stay right. There's a couple things which I want to talk through on this shelf. Top one being my very blatant No Man's Sky collection, and of course the bottom one being my slightly artistic or kind of pretentious, look at me, I'm intelligent, I read, I have a Karl Marx bust kind of vibe, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, up on here, first of all, we got the Blue Room EP, framed in a CD little cutout frame thingy. It's Coldplay, of course. You probably can't see it because the focus probably isn't that great. The Blue Room EP was, I believe, the 2nd EP that Coldplay did. I know, of course, you got Safety in 1998. And then I think Brothers and Sisters was first, and then the Blue Room came after. Honestly, I can't remember. I always forget. But it's one of their very early EPs. And it's extremely underrated. It isn't very expensive. It's not overly collectible. But I do like it, and the artwork especially I think is really good, and the CD just looks a bit booky, but it's only a CD after all, but it's still a nice little touch. Over here we got my little No Man's Sky collection. So right up here we got the steelbook for the game, Oh shit, that's a finger. Of course, I don't have a PS4, so it's completely pointless me buying the game. So this is literally just an empty steelbook because of course I own the game on PC. Here we have the Art of No Man's Sky. Now, I would crack this shit open, but it's super fucking difficult holding an iPhone. So, I mean, you can probably, yeah, you can see a little bit of it. It's very just like concept art based. It's got a load of really cool stuff in it, which I use for drawing, and it's just really interesting to look at. There's a load of like pre-release kind of cut content in there, like the structures and shit, which we don't see. And this here is a book where, honestly, I can't even remember where I got this from, but it's essentially like comics inside of it. Again, I can't really show you. I mean, I can try, but it's probably gonna fall off the fucking shelf. But you can get a very slight glimpse of it there. Just comics, really cool. I haven't actually read them though for some reason. Over here, my pride and joy. These are my Pulp Fiction pop vinyls. And I'm not too big on pop vinyls, I don't really beat off to them, but the Pulp Fiction ones, because it's definitely one of my favourite films, are extremely collectible, for one, because they're discontinued, but also they just look fucking badass as shit. So we got Vincent Vega over here, John Travolta, and of course you got Butch. No one gives a shit about Butch, but he's affordable. I've left these boxed, and at least to my knowledge, I think they've never been opened, but I can't be too sure. They look pretty decent, good condition. Vincent, because he is probably one of the rarest ones, costs like 55 quid. Butch was like fuck all, so probably like 25. And in the middle, I have a key ring, which was on my key until it fucking fell off. So I just leave that there. But yeah, they're pretty cool to have. They're going to be boxed because they're discontinued and they're worth a bit of money. Down here, this is my little shelf with, ignore that, just books and RS related stuff. Of course, we've got a Bible here, we've got a book on the Sikhs, we've got other texts which I study for English, because of course I'm doing my A-levels, so I take RS, English, Lit and Lang, and Sociology. So a lot of the books are influenced by this, as in this book here, this Sikhism one, I take Sikhism, or I study Sikhism. You've got Handmaid's Tale, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Lord of the Flies and GCSE. Then you've got like Streetcar, Gatsby is over here, and just some other random books like Stephen King. And of course you've got the Communist Manifesto, bit of sociology in there, which is why I have the Karl Marx bust. This was a Christmas present. I just find Marxism fascinating, especially when we, you know, do it in sociology. I love the idea of it. I'm not saying I'm a fucking communist, but I just think it's very interesting. Over here, we just got a little Guru Nanak plate. Again, Sikhism related. I tried to give this a bit of an intellectual vibe. Don't know if that went down too well. And of course, you've got two little Hindu statues. The lighting is absolutely piss. But yeah, I got these absolutely ages ago in like primary school. The fucking camera won't focus. There you go. Yeah, they just sit on here. We've got an empty bottle of Disaronno. I just kept the bottle because it looks sick. Down here, really haven't got a lot on the go. Just some Christmas presents and shit, which I haven't yet put away. The clock's spacking out. It doesn't actually look like that. We've got two monitors down there, which I used to have, and I just don't really know where to put them. So we've got the curtains. I shut them so the lighting's a little bit better. We've got a wardrobe over here, and right behind us, we have the actual desk itself. So hopefully you can get a somewhat decent view of that. The focus is a bit off, but you can essentially see it. So we'll talk through this bit now because it's probably the most interesting. So this is my desk. This is where I do all my editing. This is where I do my recording. This is where I play. This is where I sit my fat ass for basically like 8 hours a day because I have no life. Yeah, this desk is fucked, in case you haven't noticed already. Completely and utterly destroyed. This is a result of many No Man's Sky crashes, a load of anger at COD, and it's IKEA, so it's not going to be the most durable thing in the world. It's literally fucking cardboard. I'll talk you through my peripherals. So down here, we have a Razer Death Adder Chroma. Now, this somehow hasn't broken yet. The amount of times I've like hit this and just got angry, it's absolutely fucking durable. It's crazy. The keyboard, which is kind of blocked by the mic, you can see that here. This is just a very cheap RGB mechanical keyboard. Because keyboards all do the same thing. I don't give a shit if it's Razer, I don't care if it's some Chinese knockoff. It's durable as, especially since you can't really see, but it's very heavy. It's like, almost like metal. Very strange material, but it just means it doesn't break, which is really good. So as for my mic, again, can't really see it, but this is a blue Yeti, and this is the black edition, so it's like matte black, because I'm supposed to be getting a black and white theme on the go. I don't really know if that's working too well, but just a standard pop filter. This is the mic I use for recording, but also talking on like TeamSpeak or in game chat, something like that. And then we just got a cheap as mic on, which I need to replace because it's fucking shit. And below it, we just have a white extended mouse mat, a very good eBay purchase, and they're really hard to come by for some reason, white extended mouse mats, but I managed to ponce one, which is pretty good. Over here we've got the Krakens. Now these are the 7.1 chromas, so they fit in with the def adder as well. I honestly wouldn't recommend them because they're quite overpriced. They look nice, and if you're into the whole RGB fetish, then yeah, you can cycle them and shit, but the amount of times they've just broken, or sound plays through one ear, or the bass disappears, or Synapse fucks up. Like, Synapse just ruins every product, essentially. It's just broken, and honestly, there are much better headphones out there that don't have a fucking shitty Razer logo on it. I mean, they're okay, but honestly, if you want a new pair of headphones, I would not get them. They're just extremely unreliable, but also reliable at the same time. They're just so inconsistent, so inconsistent. So over here on the left, I'll get to the chair in a second. So we got a MacBook Air 2012, I think that is. This is the 13-inch screen as well, and I spent basically like 95% of my paycheck on this last year. I use it for scripts, I use it for writing, general browsing. It's an Air, so it's light as shit. I probably can't really show you, but it's very, very thin, as you can kind of see there. Very, very thin laptop. It's okay, it's pretty decent, it does the job. Over here's my monitor, and this is just a standard Acer 144Hz monitor. So because it's 144Hz, you get that high refresh rate. It's better for Twitch shooters, things like that. It just looks fucking smooth as. Got my Twitter on there, if you just want to give that a little follow, feel free. And over here on the left, we just got the drawings, which I'm trying to get Hello Games to fucking like up. Most of them are shit because I'm not overly good at drawing, but I just enjoy it. I want to get good. This one here is my most recent one. It's supposed to be a structure, but the shading went a bit weird and I was tired as. But yeah, that's them. They just live there for now. Up here, I have 3 of my favourite vinyls. I was supposed to be getting a theme on the go, but I just sort of don't have any money. In the middle, we got a Rush of Blood to the Head Coldplay album, which is my favourite album, arguably ever. Definitely my favourite Coldplay album. On the left, we have Parachutes as well, which is their first proper album. And then on the right here, yeah, you see me, is Rag and Bone Man's Human, which is an absolutely fantastic album. But yeah, I want to get like a black and white theme on the go here. So I sort of need like a darker album artwork. I was thinking like The Neighbourhood, like Wiped Out or something like that. I don't know. It's a work in progress. But these vinyl frames, absolutely piss all, like £5 from Tiger. Like nothing. And the vinyls themselves were somewhat expensive. I think a Rush of Blood to the Head was about a tenner. Parachutes is probably about 15. Human was, I don't know, 25, something like that. And then of course we've got a little No Man's Sky dog tag up here. That's just chilling. That was on a chain, but the chain broke, and it just lives up there. Reminds me that I need to make No Man's Sky videos. But yeah, that just about does it for the desk. Not really a great deal to talk about. I suppose we've got the webcam here, which you can't see because the lighting's so bad. It's the Logitech, the something G something, the most like mainstream one, the 1080p 30 FPS one. It's okay. I don't use it that much, so I didn't spend a lot of money on it. And the chair here, it's not a DX Racer, it's a Chinese knockoff, but the thing is, it's literally the same. It's comfy as fuck, you can recline it, black and white. It's just a pretty decent chair. It cost me about 80 quid, so about 200 quid cheaper than a regular DX Racer. So the computer itself is down here, as you can see. Again, the lighting's a bit piss, and the cable management's a bit wank over here. I do have a Signum, and that is connected to the LEDs. The controller's somewhere, I don't know where it is. The computer has a GTX 1060 in it, 6 gig of VRAM. It's just got 8 gigs of regular RAM, i5 6600K, it's got an SSD, it's got 2 hard drives, one for games, one for recording, and yeah, it's a decent computer. Now this is my pride and joy. This is where all of my ultra collectors things go. So up here we have a Vault-Tec lunchbox, and this was a collector's edition for Fallout 3, but of course the actual collector's editions are super fucking hard to come by, so I had to just settle on the lunchbox, but it's pretty goddamn sick. I got the bottles from Fallout. I used to love it, like, to bits. Fallout 4 less or so, that is literally just an empty case. But Fallout 3 was honestly a game which I fucking banged. It was great. These bottles I bought off Etsy, so these are handmade by some random guy in like Yorkshire or something, but they look really fucking good. They almost look official. They're just very, very good. Got the bobblehead, of course, and this actually has a practical use as well, because inside this tin, because you can actually open it, I keep all of my fucking vape liquids. Look at that shit. So you can see what I've got in there. I'll save this for the vape review, but you can see I've just got a couple flavours. This one over here, on the far left, is nicotine free, and the rest are a mix between 12 mg and 6 mg. If you don't smoke or you don't vape, you don't have what clue I'm talking about right now, but it's just nicotine shit. It's just boring. Down here, we have a little Coldplay shrine, but we also have like a general media shelf. So we've got two pop vinyls here. We've got Hannibal Lecter and a Crazy 88 from Kill Bill. Behind it, we have a few films. I have fucking thousands of copies of Pulp Fiction. We've got two collectors, a Blu-ray, and then we've got the collectors of Reservoir Dogs, Silence of the Lambs, Ultimate Edition, Donnie Darko, Shawshank, One Flew Over, and a big fat edition of Apocalypse Now, the Ultimate Collector's Edition. It's fucking amazing. One of the best films I've seen. Again, I don't have enough room though, that's the problem. I've got a Dad's Army mug. Now, I've never watched Dad's Army in my life, but it says Don't Panic on it, and that's the name of one of my favourite Coldplay songs. So I thought, why not squeeze it in on the Coldplay shrine? As you can see here, we've got the X and Y and Viva La Vida coasters, and of course we just have the CDs, which are over here. As you can see, all good. So going down the shelf, we just have kind of like a load of random shit. This I found in the loft, and I don't mind a bit of Elvis. I just thought it looked pretty cool. It's got some memorabilia in it. We've got the box for my processor. We got Anaheim Ducks puck. I used to like ice hockey, sort of gone off it now, but this is an actual NHL puck, and a Jack Daniels box, which is pretty cool. This sign here is actually a toilet sign from a pub. When my dad used to be a carpenter, used to do work on buildings, I think they had to renovate a pub or do something with it, and they essentially just ponced the sign because no one wanted it. So it looks old, it's very pub-like, it smells really nice, don't ask why. You know that classic pub smell of like fags and smoke and drinks and sweat, and yeah, it smells like that, it's nice. And moving down here, we basically have the box shelf, and the lighting's so bad down here, I apologise. But we've got 3 pop vinyl boxes, just boxes really, iPhone, Krakens. Got the Tim's watch box, a rotary box, little Rick and Morty pop vinyl. And down at the very, very bottom, we just have more alcohol. So we just got some bottles which I like the design of, as in the Peaky Blinders Pale Ale, really fucking nice. And we've got the 1060 box just rocking down there. In here, I've got my Yu-Gi-Oh tin. I'm not a weeb and I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh, but I used to like it when I was about 10. I found this just knocking around. I was like, fuck me, I forgot this existed. We got the tin of Card Jitsu, Club Penguin. These were the physical cards that granted you codes to get the virtual cards in the game. I mean, I can try and crack it open and show you what's inside of it. It's pretty grim, I'm not gonna lie. The actual cards are here, as you can see. I mean, the lighting's so unbelievably bad. I'll try and move it somewhere that's a little bit better. But I put some vape shit in here. So I've got some like clearomisers, I've got some like empty bottles. It's just fucked, unfortunately, which is a real shame. But yeah, it is what it is. That's that. It's a cool little tin. One day I'll clean it out and get rid of all that mouldy fucking liquid. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that is just about everything which I can cover. Isn't really a great deal on the go. Just my room. This is where I record. This is kind of the backdrop that you see. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit different, but I'm hoping this provided you with some kind of insight into what I like to waste my money on. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy them, please do feel free to leave a like on the video. And if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.